happening now with the market for this week. So we can see Bitcoin have hit a new all-time high, 126,000, 126.5. I think that was the last. And of course, should we continue to aim higher, or is this the peak of the bull market? Okay, so what is next? What is it to look forward after this pop? Okay, should we see the alts continue to rally after that? Okay, and Ethereum is still yet to break a new all-time high. So it's some hovering around like 4.2, 4.1. Okay, it went up to about 4.6. So nonetheless, we're going to see here. Okay, so we look at the Bitcoin potential. Maybe it could hit all the way to 103,000. Okay, so based on what here? Cost basis, price cost basis. So if you look at the percentage of supply in profit metric, has hit about 99.4%. Okay, signaling major Bitcoin price move. Okay, and then retail BTC investors have increased their activity following a new all-time high, right? So every time when there's a new all-time high, usually it will attract more users, more new holders, and of course, not to forget retail as well. Once if you see the news starts to project or to start to promote about Bitcoin, that's where you're going to see a lot of retail dumb money is going to come in and most likely to push the price even more higher. Okay, so yeah, I think this is the setup here that we are going to look forward. So yeah, I think towards end of the year, that's where it's going to be very interesting because Q4 is one of the best performing month for crypto. Okay, one of the best performing month for crypto. So yeah, so we can see here. Okay, it benefits both long-term holders and short-term holders, as well as institution and retailers. It is high percentage signals. Okay, so everything is looking good. If you look here, 99.4% of Bitcoin supply is currently in profit. Almost all holders are now profitable and market sentiment remains very bullish, right? So yeah, I think when everything is good, when everything is up, people tend to hold. Okay, people tend to be reluctant to even to sell. Maybe only those short-term holders. Okay, all right. So potential with a target of 133,000 max. Should we see this thing is going to play out? Probably, maybe very soon. Maybe it could be end of this month. Okay, so we are not far away from there. Probably about 10,000 from now. Okay, then here we can see regarding about short-term holders. Okay, there is an unrealized profit for these investors has increased up to 10%, rising from 15% for those of them who came in probably at a peak. Okay, or probably short-term. Okay, and then if you look here, short-term holders often sell aggressively to lock in gains, fearing a potential reversal. This could create downward price pressure for Bitcoin. Yep, so probably short-term pullback is due to short-term holders are actually selling to lock in profits. But other than that, those who are well experienced, I think most likely will continue to hold. Okay, and then if you look here, 15% unrealized profit will correspond to 131.8K. Okay, the implication is that short-term holders may resume heavy selling if BTC climbs towards 132.8. So probably there could be another potential of another sell-off at 132.8. And then also to have another pullback again. So what we are seeing right now, we have hit at 126, now back to 123.1. Okay, probably this could be a short-term pullback and then continue to break even further. Then maybe we will see another correction again. Okay, so that is the setup here. I think overall it's looking bullish, but I believe most likely the peak of Bitcoin is about coming to an end, probably by end of this month. Okay, many have already mentioned that the Bitcoin peak have already started since yesterday, right? Full moon, they call it full moon on the 7th of October. Okay, so that's where Bitcoin have finally done with its top. So that's where maybe money rotation might happen. Okay, from BTC to ETH. Okay, so that is the setup here. And then, of course, moving on next with Ethereum and, of course, the smaller coins. So we can see now what's really happening now with ETH. So should Ethereum continue to break to a new all-time high? Or should we see another pullback again or to continue its downward trend below 4,000? So nonetheless, we're going to see here, there could be a high possibility of a break and also maybe to reach at least 7,500. Okay, based on this analysis. Okay, so Ethereum has finished somewhere around 4.7K, locking in the 5.2%. And then now we are back down again for a short-term pullback. Again, short-term sell-off, 4.2, 4.1 at the moment. Okay, So this guy, analyst expert, okay, mentioning what here? Pointed out that Ethereum has already surged close to about 200% since the last signal flash. Okay, so right now market looks like it's one of those reaccumulation phase. Okay, so there could be a quiet build up before it rallies again for a new all-time high. Now, if the cycle were to play out, where should you be seeing at the new levels here? Somewhere around 5,700. And could also hit to a peak of 7,005. So 5,007 to 7,005. That could be the setup for Ethereum once it reached the new all-time high. Okay, so yeah, I think overall it's really bullish. So now in this patient, I think most likely by end of this week or probably by the midweek of October, I think that's where we're going to see some crazy movement. Then of course with the rate cut as well coming in for end of this month. Okay, so this will be another boost again for the economy. Okay, so another 0.25 rate cut most likely will be on the line. Then talking about strategic Bitcoin reserve, SBR from the US, I think Cynthia Loomis have already mentioned many times. Then I think most likely they're going to start very, very soon under the Trump's administration. Okay, so SBR, also known as what here? Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Okay, so that's where the US government will continue to accumulate Bitcoin. Instead of selling, they will accumulate, okay, for their own treasury. Okay, so you can see here, a bill proposing the acquisition of 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years, okay, with a 20-year holding period. There you go, 20-year. Keyword here is what? 20 years. So you're going to hold about 20 years. So they will accumulate and they will not sell. So leverage budgeting, leverage budget neutral strategies like Federal Reserve, right? Remittance and gold certificate valuations. Okay, so yeah, I think overall this is bullish. So I think they are going to start the SBR very, very soon. And when they start this, I think most likely they could be the extreme peak, extreme top. Okay, for a blow off top, probably for this bull market cycle. Okay, so yeah, you can see here, right? Why the SBR and passing the Bitcoin Act makes so much sense. Okay, so yeah, I think everything will come into place once the US will start to activate this SBR. Okay, so yeah, I think overall this is a very good move, right? Will the government buy BTC? That's the most important thing. Okay, so as you know that President Trump have already signed an order to establish a Bitcoin reserve. Right, earlier he have already signed a bill regarding about the SBR. Okay, and then if you look at this crypto advisor, also known as 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀, okay, right, mentioning in May that the path to acquiring Bitcoin was ready. Okay, and then it's just a matter of getting the Commerce Department and the Treasury Department. Okay, so it's getting these two departments into one, and then therefore most likely this SBR will take place very, very soon. And then if you look here, Treasury Secretary 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 mentioning on August that the government would not buy additional BTC and expressed doubt about revaluing gold. So I think a lot of confusion here. One side saying they are buying, one side saying they're not. So by end of the day, I think this is just a short-term distraction. I think end of the day, they most likely will be accumulating behind the scene. Okay, if you look here, the US government have already hold about 198,000 of Bitcoin, which is totaling about 24.17 B at the moment. Okay, so yeah, I think overall this is a very good move for the US government. I think this will also follow up in other countries as well. So once US have confirmed, I think other countries will follow also with the strategic Bitcoin reserve for their own country. Okay, so this is all the latest news coming up, and then moving on next, we're going to see here. Okay, so we talk about the market cycle, right? As the market cycle continues to progress, okay, so what to expect and what is your profit-taking strategy? That is the most important thing, because I think a lot of people are just continue to hold without having a game plan, or continue to add more, continue to top up their investment or their holdings, especially when the bull market continues to go towards the upside. Okay, so have you thought about taking your profit, or do you have a take profit plan for this cycle? So you have to ask yourself, do you have one? Okay, whatever your high time frame investment thesis or plan, I would recommend to have this in place. So whenever the market moves, your action might get clouded by emotions and big move, right? So as you can see, the market continue to go up, creating a new all-time high. Once more with Ethereum and the smaller coins later on. I think everyone will be excited, and of course, everyone will be probably showing or sharing their screenshot or their profits to their friends. But one thing is that they forgot to take profits or even take out their capital. So that is usually the case. And this is a thing that you do not want to repeat, especially if you are from the last cycle. doing that, maybe this cycle you might want to change. So personally, I prefer to slowly scale out as the cycle goes on and prices go higher. Now you want to scale out every time when the market goes up. Sell bit by bit, maybe 10, 20%. Market goes up again, you sell 10, 20%. Okay, because we do not know when the top is. We cannot time the top. It's impossible. But what you can do is that you can able to limit your risk. Okay, so no need to time the perfect top and bottom. Okay, so the 80% or so in between is all you need to catch, right? So yeah, nothing is perfect, but you need to have a game plan. Okay, and you need to have a strategy on how you're going to take your profits for this Q4. Okay, so very important. And then moving on next, we're going to see here, again, coming in from Ethereum. So if you look at the ETH against Bitcoin chart, okay, ETH against Bitcoin versus the dominance, very, very important. So now we are hovering around these gold dotted lines. Okay, so we are consolidating in this gold dotted line. So it needs to maintain this level of support. Okay, if we can able to maintain this level of support, most likely we will break higher again. Now, if you break slower, then most likely outs will beat more, and Ethereum will continue to underperform against BTC. Okay, so yeah, I think most likely if can able to maintain, we should expect Ethereum to outperform for Q4. Let's see, right? So if Ethereum and Ethereum Bitcoin chart keeps recovering and build upwards impulse, capital rotation returns to ETH and large caps. Okay, so that is the thing here. Now, if BTC stays calm, BTC dominance stays calm, it opens the door for liquidity to flow outward. And then this is Ethereum's moment to lead the next rotation. Yeah, so it has to make a move, okay, for ETH to outperform against Bitcoin. Okay, I think it is running out of time, and Ethereum is still yet to break the all-time high. That's the only thing. So it's still below the all-time high. So it needs to really quickly break as soon as possible. So hopefully we can see by this month. Okay, hopefully we can able to see by this month. Okay, if not, then most likely by November after the rate cut. Okay, or after the rate cut. Okay, and then leading up to the new year. Okay, then moving on next to airdrop. So for those of you who have been doing recall, you can start claiming your airdrop here, or checker first. So who is qualified here? Recall power users. For those of you who are transacting on the testnet, you can able to see, you can able to check. And then crypto AI builders, AI explorer, okay, snappers or yappers or whichever it is. Again, so TGE is still yet to be announced, but for those of you who have qualified, most likely you have to do your KYC. Okay, so most likely you have to do your KYC in order for you to claim. Okay, and then next we're going to see here. Okay, coming in from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. So 𝗧𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 is a trading platform. Okay, for those of you who have been trading on this platform, you can check your eligibility here. Okay, for season 1. Okay, so season 2 is still ongoing. All right, so you might want to check your eligibility here. Okay, I think you need to enter your email and password for this trading. Okay, so I think the perpetual or the trading platform right now has been getting quite hot lately, ever since the Ester and of course Hyperliquid, what's more with the latest one, which is lighter trading platform. Okay, so I think a lot of people have been farming on this. Okay, and then next we're going to see here Ester. So Ester stage 2. Okay, airdrop claim is currently updating. Okay, so Ester announced they are adding more flexibility. Okay, and how you can able to claim your season 2 drop. Okay, so you got 2 options here: receive your Ester drop as usual, or get a full refund of your S2 trading fees with no airdrop. So which one will you take? Right, so you're going to see which one is it worthwhile. Is the drop more than the fees that you burn? If not, then most likely you might want to go for option 2, right? And then continue again. Okay, so yeah, I think maybe I think a lot of people might be choosing for option 1 rather than option 2. Okay, so you can able to choose until when? October 10, 2 days from now. And it will stay open for 48 hours. Okay, so that is it. Okay, and then next. Again, coming in from Monet. So for those of you who have been doing Monet drop or Monet testnet, okay, I think most likely will be airdropping very soon. So I think most likely it could be tomorrow. Okay, on the 9th, 100%. Okay, so I think everything is all set. I think the pre-market also have already launched. So for those of you who have been checking in on Monet, I think most likely you might be getting this drop. I think this could be huge for Monet. Okay, so this is a layer 1. So most likely will be airdropping. So let's see whether tomorrow or not they will airdrop the token, or probably maybe checker first. Okay, they launch the checker for you to check who is qualified, and then most likely will launch the TT, right? So yeah, this is Monet. Okay, and then next. So this is the next one. Probably maybe you guys can also do. So for those of you who have been missing out on Hyperliquid, Ester, or Lighter, now this maybe is for you. So this is the one that you can able to catch. Okay, maybe Nonella or Jim, maybe you might want to do this because I think this could be the next Hyperliquid. Why? It's because this is a hybrid perpetual DEX on Solana. Okay, and you see the keyword here, completely self-funded with no external capital risk. No venture capitalists involved, no VC, similar like Hyperliquid. That's the game here. That's the game changer here. That's what you want to see. You want to see whether they follow Hyperliquid or not. No VC, self-funded. And then the team includes members from Binance, Coinbase, OpenAI, and other top companies. So what to do and how to get started, right? Very simple, go to the link. Now, very important is here, when you go to the link here, okay, you need to have at least minimum 2 accounts if you want to do. Okay, you need to have 2 accounts, 2 wallets, I would say, because you need to do 1 buy, 1 sell, 1 long, 1 short. Okay, you either buy or you sell BTC on 1 account. Okay, and then with the leverage, right? Very important. How are you going to play with the leverage? Okay, so maybe my take here is maybe you can start about 500 for 1 account. Okay, so that means your budget is $1,000. So 500 each 1 account. Okay, and then maybe you go for 5x leverage. Okay, because here the leverage here, it is quite risky here. So my take here, you go at least minimum 3 to 5x. Okay, 3 to 5x. And what you want to do now is you want to 1 buy, 1 sell. And you want to open same time. Okay, and then you want to close it somewhere around at least minimum 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Okay, so you can see the trading history here. Okay, so this is an example that I already did. What we want to do is we want to chase the volume, not the profits. So you're trading for volume, you're targeting the volume. You're not trading for profits here. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much of unrealized or probably realized loss that I've already lost. What we want is the volume, how to calculate the volume, right? So example here for BTC USD. So example, now I buy, I go 100%. So max I can go about 4,752. Why? It's because my account is $1,000. Okay, $1,000. So maximum 5 times. So supposing it to be 5 times, which is 5K USD. But they only give me up to 4,007. So this 4,752 is equivalent to volume. So I open 1 time is equivalent to 4,752. Okay, so it's open, right? Open. Consider 1 time volume, 4,752. So when I close the trade, it will calculate another time again, 4,752. So that means 4,752 times 2 is how much here? It's about 9,000 or 10,000, right? 4,752 times 2, how much? 9,005. 9,504. That is the volume that you want to get. But don't forget, there is a fees that you need to watch, because every time when you open, there is a fee here, somewhere around $1.8 to $2. So that means total, you'll be paying $3.6 to $4 for this entry fees, opening and closing. So every time you open and close, they will charge you the brokerage fee. So that is the thing here. Okay, so my take here is that you want to make sure you trade only once a day, because this thing is still new, and go for a very low leverage. Maybe if you scared or you're conservative, maybe you try 1x first. You go for the minimum first, 1x. Confirm leverage, okay, you go for 1x. Once you get comfortable, only you increase, maybe 3 to 5. But I won't recommend it more than 5. So where to track here, you can go here, portfolio. Okay, you can see here, my initial capital is 1,000, right? So now its balance is 1,962. So my loss is $37, 37.93. But does it really matter? Not really. Why? It's because this is the one. What we want is this, the volume. So the more volume you get, the more points that you get, you gain more. So yeah, I think you want to target your volume maybe at least 200,000, 300,000. Okay, at least a month. in order for you to be on a proper ranking, right? So this thing is still new, okay? All right, so you can see the ranking here. My volume is 27.9K. My rank is already 6,182. So like I said, not many people are actually doing this because this is still new. So you have a lot of chance to actually start doing this. You can do this once a day or probably once a week, depending on your schedule. Because if you want to really take advantage of the next hyper liquid, I think this could be the next one, Pacifica, right? So yeah, I think you just need to use your Solana wallet, okay, deposit USDC, okay, and then you can start trading. Do one buy, one sell, leave it for 5 minutes, and then you close it. That's the strategy here. Okay, so that's the game plan for you guys to rake in the volume. Okay, so yeah, I will send you the code later, or maybe if you want to know more, maybe you can message me again how to do this, because I think this one will need some proper guidance, especially like Nonela. So maybe you might want to really do this. So I think this is the opportunity that everyone will need to pay attention for Pacifica. Okay, so I will send you guys the invite code later, because this one need invite code, because you need 2 invite codes, 2 accounts for 2 wallets, right? So yeah, right, get your account set up first. Okay, get your account set up first, or maybe your Phantom or your Backpack wallet, and then only you can start to trade with the invite code. Okay, because you need to fund in, I think, yeah, USDC in Solana network. So try 500 each, go maybe 1x first once you're comfortable, and then only you go for 3 to 5x. Okay, so consistent like how I get for Drift and Zeta Market for Solana, I think this will be the same playbook as well. Okay, so yeah, any more questions later on, I'll answer it. And then moving on next with the coin market cap. So coin market cap, you can see here. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, so 4.17 trillion. BTC is at 122.9. Then we look at Ethereum, 4.5. Okay, I think it's slowly grinding up again. When we look at the last 24 hours, we have Mental leading up at 32% in last 7 days. We have Zcash as well, 64%. Then we look at SPX, it's 942% last 1 week. Hyperliquid also gaining momentum. So most of the coins are actually rallying up or slowly recovering. Okay, so I'm going to look here to others to get the dominance. So dominance, you can see here for this setup. Okay, for monthly, what is money doing now? Okay, price at the middle band on dominance. So short term probably might retest back at 61.23. Okay, for the entry sell for dominance. Okay, so there could be a possibility of a break up again to retest here before heading down. Or if not, might want to see this level here, 57.02 to retest again for dominance. Okay, so dominance, I would say short term bullish, but overall on the bigger scale is going down. Then here we look at ETH against Bitcoin. So ETH against Bitcoin, you can see monthly. Okay, but down momentum sell. Okay, now break above the middle band. Then with the reversal candle is formed. So most likely it might come down again. Then it might come down and then might retest back at this level here. Okay, 0.02768. If not, then maybe we might continue again higher to retest here at 0.04935 for the money time. Now look at weekly now. You can see higher highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. So the trending overall is actually bullish. Look at here, painted above the middle band here. So this will be the support at 0.03222. Okay, so this setup here for Ethereum against Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, I think overall on daily, right, we can see here. So daily, ETH against Bitcoin. Setup is already breaking below the middle band. Okay, and then most likely you might want to see this level to maintain, right, 0.03559 for ETH against Bitcoin. So most likely, maybe it might come back down, or probably we should see a bottom out from here on ETH against Bitcoin. Okay, because on the weekly time frame, we can see what's happening here. Higher highs, higher lows. So probably this could be a support and then continue to go back up again for ETH against Bitcoin. Okay, and then BTC now, see 122.7. So all-time high is how much here? 126.2. So all-time high 126.2. And then this was the last resistance now turn support at 115.7. Okay, then look at all here, 102.3. Look at the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame also we can see, okay, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs again. And then this is the level here. 119.7, right? 119.7 is the level that you want to watch at the support zone. So it might come back down to retest, consolidate, and then continue up again for BDC. Or should we say that this is already the top? Okay, look at daily now, we can see higher highs, higher lows. Again, so probably they could continue back down again at 119.7, or if not, we continue higher again. So where's the next level again? It needs to break here, 123.4. So 123.396, right? This is the level here. Then it needs to break, and then continuing with this final boss resistance here at 124.7. H4, what do we see on H4? Price break below the middle band, candlestick change of direction form, buy to sell, pullback, getting rejected on the middle band, most likely it might go lower. Let's see for H4 time frame. So H4 task needs to break back a bit again above the middle band. So at 123.4. So it needs to break above for this week in order to reclaim again back up. Maybe this could be a short-term dump, okay, for this setup here. But overall, I would say price is still uptrend. Okay, just need to be very cautious here. Maybe this could be the peak for BDC first. Again, so, and Ethereum. So what is ETH doing? What is ETH doing now? So we can see, okay, so we're still yet to break past the all-time high. So all-time high is how much here? 4868. And then the all-time high is at 4955. Right? So August, it did the all-time high, but slightly went down. So now we can see on Monday, we have a nice momentum, reversal candle down, retest candle is formed. The only question is 4566, it needs to break above again to maintain this level of support. If not, then it might continue to go down and then to retest back here at 3768. Again, so 3768. Then look at weekly now. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Still consolidating. So which is also good on the weekly time frame. The more it consolidates, the bigger the breakout. Okay. Then here, you see this level here, 4784. Okay, it's a level to break above for Ethereum. Okay, then your support zone for weekly is here, 4013. Look at daily. So daily, failed to break past the top EB, close with a bearish engulfing. So far for now, it's still maintaining above the middle band, 4332. Still okay for Ethereum. Again, so yeah, I think overall on ETH, there could be a slight pullback. So again, there are a lot of areas that we have to look, 4784. Okay, and then 4013 is a critical support. Okay, so far for now, it's still consolidating. Okay, for now, it's okay. Now, then moving on to outs. If you have any outs, feel free to put in the chat box or any questions. So I'll answer it at the moment. We're going to see here. We have a lot. Look also including the BNB as well, hitting a new all-time high. So we look at mental, also hitting new all-time high, 2.53. So this is 2.64 for the all-time high. So what happened if you can see here? So mental did a what? W pattern, double bottom. So double bottom was here. Break past the final boss resistance at 1.3. Then closing again up here, this level. Now maintaining this level support at 177. Then look at weekly now. You can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then higher high again. So you're gonna wait for the reversal, right? So you're gonna wait for the pullback here on the retracement. So your retracement maybe will give you back maybe 1.83 for mental. Okay, for mental. But overall, I can see, I think it is already trending up. I think it's still on the price discovery. Okay, for mental. So we look at daily also, you can see nice break up momentum. Okay, pullback, then creating a new high again. So yeah, I think overall this is going to go very bullish. So it's going to be a new price discovery again. So you have to be very careful if you are planning to buy this type of movement. Again, so next target for mental. Where is mental going here? Okay, we take from the daily time frame. Okay, on the monthly time frame. Okay, monthly time frame, we take from this high to this low. So your next level will be 2.83. That will be the next golden ratio, which is likely about to hit, right? Somewhere about 2.63. Okay, so I'm going to see whether or not can you able to hit 2.83. Then moving on to BNB. So BNB also all-time high. I think we only have BNB season at the moment. So Binance Exchange token, now it's at 1,300, 1,003. The monthly, you can see here monthly is doing what? 1,349 or 1,350 was the all-time high. 1,350. Massive. It's going to go up, okay? I think because of the sentiment of 𝗧𝗃, and of course for CZ as well, been tweeting about 𝗧𝗃 as well. Heavy marketing, okay? Very, very bullish on the Binance ecosystem, okay? So yeah, I think it's going to go parabolic, okay? Because this is a new all-time high, so a new price discovery. This was the last resistance, right? Then support at $700. Look at weekly. So we can see high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. Okay, this level here, 1050. Maybe there could be a pullback for heading higher again. Look at daily. Okay, so daily also trending towards the upside. Look at here. This is your support zone, 1191. At 1191. Okay, look at H4. Again, high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. So consolidation. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a level that you want to watch, which is 1313. 1313. Can break 1313, turn this side of support, it will continue to go up again. Okay. Now, where is BNB going to go next, right? Very important. And take the Fibonacci. Okay, we take from this previous high, and we take from the low. This high, low. Okay, to this current low here. So next level will be 1627. Okay, next target will be 1627 for the new all-time high for BNB. Okay, for BNB. And then we look at 𝗧𝗃. So what is 𝗧𝗃 doing? $2. So monthly all the way up, we have hit a new all-time high of 2.43. Look at weekly, still green. There's no sign of reversal yet, but you can see already the wicks are happening here. We test. Okay, look at daily. Okay, so daily also we can see market is creating a lower high compared to the previous high. So all these levels you're going to watch, right? Probably this level here, 165. And then your support zone will be here at 185, 186 for 𝗧𝗃. So 𝗧𝗃, I think most likely might go down. I think extreme sell, market loss volume failed to break past the top VB and then consolidating. So this consolidation, I think most likely market is exhausted. Buyers already exhausted. Now sellers coming into place now. I think probably people are taking profits from this angle here for 𝗧𝗃. So yeah, I think there could be a pullback. Then your pullback maybe might give you at the lower BB, 181, then 165. Again for 𝗧𝗃. Right. So what else next? Hyperliquid. So all these DEX. Okay. All these DEX here you can see. Okay. Hyperliquid. 46. Now you can see what's happening now on Monday. Top rejection here. This was at 59.41. Then another top again here. You can see already the market is exhausted to push higher. So that's where most likely price might hit lower from this angle. Okay, and then maybe this is the support here, 27.03. Look at weekly time frame. Now weekly already closing inside the top BB. And then with the BB squeeze. So market has totally lost volume, exhausted, most likely to hit lower. Then Monday is a sell to buy situation. So most likely hyperliquid might go down first. Then look at daily now, you can see another BB squeeze. Okay. So all these levels you're going to watch, $40, 40.47 will be the critical support. Okay, H4 time frame, you can see momentum sell back to the entry sell. So the setup is actually a downtrend movement for hyperliquid. So all these, I think, these DEX are already exhausted because I think people are shifting their money to the new DEX like Pacifica, lighter. Again, people are moving and looking for the next opportunity for the next hyperliquid. So that could be one play that maybe you might want to look forward if you have missed on hyperliquid 𝗧𝗃. Okay, so for those of you who wants to do this strategy to get the next hyperliquid through Pacifica, again, maybe you can WhatsApp or maybe you can DM or whichever, then we can get started on how you can able to maximize. Instead of trading for profits, you can trade for volume. Okay, so that's how to maximize.